Chapter 21. A Hall of One, Long Wanqing, Song City. Within an inn, in a room. After washing himself several times in the bathtub and finally cleaning all the dirt from his body, Gu Hai looked at the image in the mirror with a hint of shock. This is what I looked like when I was at the peak of 30. Gu Hai touched his face excitedly. The wrinkles on his face had disappeared cleanly, and the newly grown white hair at the roots of his hair had completely turned black. The angular muscle mass was even more perfect than the bodybuilders on Earth's TV in the old days, and the bronze skin contained vibrant vitality underneath. The whole body had become younger, and the only thing that hadn't changed was the eyes, which were still deep and gleaming like pools of water. Innate realm, first level. I've finally broken through, Xian. I'm one step closer to avenging you. A scowl flashed across Gu Hai's face. After a while, having calmed down, Gu Hai put on his clothes and opened the door to his room. At the door of the room stood not someone else, but the duo of Chen Chongchen and Chen Liangyi. Uncle Gu, you've gotten younger. Chen Liangyi's eyes lit up. Song Cheng charged. Gu Hai glanced at Chen Liangyi. Yes, many thanks, Uncle Gu. Many thanks. Chen Liangyi sincerely bowed down at this moment. Gu Hai nodded. Hallmaster is already waiting for you in the main hall. Let's talk about everything later. Chen Chongchen laughed. Gu Hai nodded and followed Chen Chongchen as he quickly walked towards the main hall. In the middle of the main hall, the young girl was sitting at the main seat amongst the gang with Master Liu Nian. The others accompanied at the side, and Gao Xianzi was also standing at the end of the crowd. As soon as Gu Hai entered the hall, the crowd looked at him together. The King Patriarch looked at Gu Hai at the moment, but instead of the joy he felt at the beginning, a wave of resentment flashed through his eyes. After all, because of this freak, he had wasted a large amount of his spirit stones. Gu Hai, many thanks to the Supreme Immortal, Gu Hai said with a respectful salute to the Maiden Hallmaster. Upper Immortal, ha, I'm not an Upper Immortal. Why is Mr. Gu grateful to me? The maiden laughed. This grace, Gu Hai remembers it in his heart. If it wasn't for the Upper Immortal, I would just be an old man waiting to die now. And I wouldn't have returned to my peak age. Gu Hai took a deep breath and said. On the side, the King Patriarch grimaced, but didn't snap. Gu Hai had given the credit to the young girl, and the King Patriarch had no intention of stealing the credit. All right, since you're grateful, I won't be polite. Because of you, we've delayed a lot of time. You're coming with us right away. The young girl was also nonchalant. Oh, Gu Hai was slightly stunned. Gao Xianzi, who is with you, as well as Chen Chongchen of the King sect and Song King Shu of the Song Jia sect, will all be enrolled in my One Piece Hall. I will be the Hallmaster, and from now on, you will serve me, the young girl directly said. One Piece Hall, Hallmaster. Gu Hai raised an eyebrow. Gu Hai, it's your destiny for the Hallmaster to take a liking to you. Why don't you thank me for the favor? The King Patriarch said in a deep voice. Instead, Gu Hai looked at the young girl with a frown. First class hall. I wonder if the Supreme Immortal can clear up my confusion. Gu Hai once again bowed and said. Ha ha ha, you brat. Everyone else is ecstatic to hear that they can join the whole of One Piece. But you're good, you're still picking and choosing. Patriarch Song Jia immediately laughed coldly. I'm not qualified to pick and choose. It's just that I'm an ordinary person with little knowledge. I'm afraid that I'm incompetent and will make the superior immortal lose face, Gu Hai immediately said carefully. Disgraceful not so much. Cultivation is weak, but the brain is good on the line. This Thousand Islands Sea, all the lower clans, are proud to join my One Piece Hall. Working for my One Piece Hall will have a salary beyond imagination. And I, One Piece Hall, only need elites, the young girl Hallmaster solemnly said. Oh, Gu Hai's expression moved as he looked at the Clear River Sect Master. The King Patriarch laughed coldly. The Hallmaster has his eyes on you. But I wouldn't dare to take you in. I can honor my promise and give you the innate realms cultivation technique. But Would my technique be as good as the One Piece Hall's technique? Gu Hai, it's your fortune that the Hall Master sees your talent. Mr. Gu, what are you still hesitating for? On the side, Gao Xianzi laughed bitterly. I wonder what Gu Hai is hesitating for at this moment, with such a good opportunity. Where was there so much pondering? Gu Hai looked at the crowd. The crowd of King Sect and Songjia Sect disciples were looking at themselves with a jealous look, while the young girl Hallmaster was carrying a hint of confidence. And Chen Chongchen on the side was constantly giving himself a wink to agree. While behind the young girl, a middle-aged handsome monk was at the moment in a matter-of-fact attitude, clasping his Buddha beads as if he was silently reciting scriptures. Supreme Immortal, if I join the One Piece Hall, I wonder what the constraints are. What are the taboos? Gu Hai, however, looked solemnly at the young girl Hallmaster. The crowd looked at Gu Hai with a look of incomprehension. You're immortal, and you dare to tell the Hallmaster about conditions. Is your head broken? One heaven, one earth. It's as if the emperor wants to take a beggar as a subject. The beggar actually picks and chooses. Constraints, simple, shall not betray one product hall. And, listen to my order, on the line. Also, you have no choice, the young girl confidently said. Gu Hai gave a slight bitter smile and nodded. In that case, Gu Hai meets the Hallmaster. I only hope the Hallmaster honors his promise. In the future, I will only listen to the Hallmaster's orders, Gu Hai said with a solemn salute. Oh, the crowd was slightly stunned. This Gu Hai had asked for half a day, so he was waiting here, only listening to the orders of the Hallmaster. Other people's words are not listened to. Ha ha ha, well, if you do well, I don't mind giving you privileges. Remember, my name is Wanqing. The young lady Hallmaster laughed. Many thanks, Hallmaster, Gu Hai laughed. Grandmaster, what do you think is better for Gu Hai to join my One Piece Hall and have him at which rudder? The young girl looked to the side at Grandmaster Liu Nian. However, as if suddenly awakened, Master Liu Nian stopped clasping the Buddha beads in his hands and looked towards Gu Hai. One Piece Hall, divided into 5 rudders of gold, wood, water, fire and earth. Since the Hallmaster has promised to give him the privilege of only listening to the orders of the Hallmaster, then naturally only the 5 rudders can be competent. It just so happens that the position of the water rudder master has always been vacant. Why don't we let Gu Hai be the master of this water rudder? Liu Nian Master said. What? The surrounding crowd immediately changed their faces, looking at Master Liu Nian in shock. Hallmaster, you can't do that. Gu Hai is somewhat capable, but to become the helmsman of a party just after joining the One Piece Hall, this is not in line with etiquette. What will the rest of the One Piece Hall think? The King Patriarch raised an eyebrow and said jealously, Yes, Hallmaster, think twice. Although we are a subordinate clan of the One Piece Hall, and do not enter the core of the One Piece Hall, but this kid who has just entered the innate realm, it is not known if his cultivation can advance again in the future. You let him become a party helmsman. How is this going to convince the people? Patriarch Songjia also said with a change of face. At this moment, it was Wanqing who also frowned at Master Liu Nian. Obviously, she also felt that this reward was a bit too much. Master, why did you recommend him as the helmsman? Wanqing frowned. Master Liu Nian shook his head and said, It's not that I'm recommending him as the helmmaster. With his strength, he's still far from competing for the helmmaster's degree. Besides, countless people in One Piece Hall are staring at this position. And it's not for him, Gu Hai, to dominate. It's just that I'm telling the Hallmaster that you are not what you used to be. From the time that you succeeded to the One Piece Hall, all your words and actions will be amplified countless times. And all the disciples of the One Piece Hall are watching you. Not only One Piece Hall, but also people from other forces are waiting for your jokes, waiting for you to personally smash the brand of One Piece Hall. The young girl raised an eyebrow. People say that a gentleman has no words. Hallmaster, you are also like that nowadays. In your position, You must be careful with your words. Every word you say must be careful. You promised Gu Hai to enter the One Piece Hall to only listen to your orders, that there are only two positions. 1 is the helmsman, 2 is a guest secretary like me. Hall Master, you decide for yourself, Master Liu Nian said indifferently. Long Wanqing, however, raised an eyebrow, a hint of complexity flashing in her eyes. As for the others, when they heard what Master Liu Nian said, no one dared to say anything more. Long Wanqing's complexion changed for a moment before she finally looked at Gu Hai once again. Gu Hai, from today onwards, you are my One Piece Hall water helmsman. This is your token. From now on, just answer to me only. Long Wanqing took out a purple token and said in a deep voice. Gu Hai looked at Long Wanqing and did not expect this One Piece Hall to have so many rules. Although he didn't know what kind of situation the Water Helm Master was in, it wasn't hard to hear his rights from the conversation just now. At this moment, it was no longer possible to allow himself to refuse. Yes, thank you, Hall Master. Gu Hai will live up to Hall Master's trust, Gu Hai solemnly said. Under the jealous gazes of the crowd, Gu Hai slowly received the purple token. The token was not gold or wood, and had a general relief of a drop of water on it. Drop blood on it. Long Wanqing frowned. Gu Hai nodded, found a fine needle, and pierced his finger to drop blood on it. Buzz! The purple token slightly trembled between releasing a purple light into Gu Hai's body, as if it was instantly connected to Gu Hai's heart and soul. At once, Gu Hai seemed to feel a small space of 10 square meters from the token. Within the space, there were 10 purple spirit stones and a bamboo slip. This is, Gu Hai was surprised. Keep this order. From now on, you will be the water rudder master of the One Piece Hall. Don't disappoint me, Long Wanqing said in a deep voice. I'll do my best, Gu Hai nodded. The King Patriarch looked at Gu Hai. His face was tangled for a while. Earlier he looked at Gu Hai with displeasure, but now it was different. Gu Hai had become the One Piece Hall rudder master. This status was immediately different. Congratulations, Gu Helmsman. In the past, I promised Gu Helmsman to enter my King sect to study. Now it seems that there is no chance to fulfill it. I don't know what Gu Helmsman wants. As long as it's not excessive, I'll try my best to fulfill it. As a form of chatting about my regrets, the Clear River sect master laughed. King sect helped me to break through. I'm already grateful. It's just that, if I follow the Hall Master to leave right away, my ancient mansion, ancient helmsman, don't worry. No one dares to touch them. All the land within the former Tiger's Nest Pass of the Chen Kingdom will henceforth be under the jurisdiction of the ancient mansion. You can return anytime you want, Sovereign King affirmed with a bite. Many thanks. Gu Hai gave a slight salute. Hall Master, can I be placed under the command of the ancient ruler? On the side, Gao Xianzi suddenly stood out and said, Oh, a trace of curiosity flashed in Long Wanqing's eyes. My abilities are limited, and I hope to study under the left and right of the ancient Helm Master, Gao Xianzi solemnly said. That's fine. I haven't decided which side you'll be assigned to. Ask Gu Hai if he agrees. Long Wanqing didn't mind. If Marshal Gao can work with me, I am more than happy. Would I mind? Gu Hai immediately laughed. Mr. Gu, no, Servant Master Gu, don't make fun of me. Just call me Xiao Gao. It's my honor to follow Servant Master Gu. Gao Xianzi immediately bowed with joy. All right, Mr. Gao is polite. Gu Hai immediately helped Gao Xianzi up. Since that's the case, let's do this. Gu Hai, we'll leave in 3 days, and give you 3 days to deal with your own affairs. Long Wanqing frowned and said, Yes, thank you, Hall Master. Gu Hai nodded. Taking a step, Gu Hai walked out of the hall, and Gao Xianzi followed Gu Hai. The crowd of the King sect and Songjia sect looked in Gu Hai's direction with jealousy in their eyes. After the crowd had bid their farewells, only Long Wanqing and Master Liunian were left in the hall. Long Wanqing's brows were deeply locked. obviously still annoyed by her recklessness just now. Hall Master, you're regretting sealing Gu Hai, Master Liu Nian laughed. It's because I was too complacent, since the promise was made. Let's forget about it. It's just that I'm worried that he won't be able to handle it. Long Wanqing frowned deeply. The One Piece Hall looks like a peaceful mess to outsiders, Hall Master. Although you just succeeded it not long ago, you should be able to see its internal problems. This Gu Hai, although his cultivation is weaker, he's not a good fighter. Grandmaster Liu Nian laughed. Oh, this Gu Hai might be able to help you stir up the stagnant water of the One Piece Hall. Let him go and fight with those old guys, and help you completely master the One Piece Hall, Grandmaster Liu Nian solemnly said.